Hello my friends, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the trading signals that I have for Bitcoin, Ethereum and Avalanche. So today is the 7th of May. We see that so far is the first 7 days of the month, and you can see Bitcoin and many other cryptos are doing really well. I told you many times, especially to people months ago. I have no idea how far back I have been telling you guys to prepare for May, because I was telling you very nice things are going to happen on this month. And I've been telling this for weeks, for months, for almost ever since the last days of December. I think that was the earliest that I gave the warning signals for this period of the months. So I really hope that you are taking all of my advice seriously, because you're now seeing massive profits. Okay, I had a lot of people back then in February tell me if they should sell cryptos, and I'm not into the habit of giving financial advice, but I always told people who gave me that question, I always told them that it's basically the most nonsensical thing to actually sell cryptocurrencies, just because Bitcoin took a very hard hit. Okay, Bitcoin will always go higher. If you see the chart, all-time chart of Bitcoin, it always go high. So there's really no incentive to sell at any point. In fact, I will just buy even more. So let's just get on to the trading signals, and you can see that we had some surprises today and yesterday, because I was expecting some kind of correction. I told you that in any case there will not be as bad as other corrections, because there was no red box supporting these days on the red circle. And remember, for those who are new to the channel, the boxes always represent more powerful movements. Okay, so when you're talking about green boxes, you're talking about extreme volatility. Okay, so for example, we had a green box for the 4th of or the 5th of May, and we saw a crash on the 4th, and on the 5th of May we saw a very volatile day, kind of in range. You can see it's almost, this is where the price begins, around here. It goes down, up, down, and basically ends in a correction, I believe. Yeah, slightly lower than it opened. So we really didn't see any of these green boxes actually hit. So I don't know. Maybe for Bitcoin it came a couple days later, because you can see that the day right after this green box, which is the 6th of May, it was extremely volatile. Look at this. So it goes very from the starting position, has a crash, but then a very powerful correction. A very powerful uptrend around right here. You can see it's almost 3%. So that was the highest point of that day. And today we got even higher than this. Okay, you see that the price continues to climb, and we got around almost 3%. Okay, so combine these 2 days so far is whooping almost 5%. So from 94 to 98k, it's a very significant improvement. And the fact that we just completely ignore this red circle on the 6th and possibly the 7th, completely ignore, all of these days were on the green. We saw some powerful corrective energies, for example, right here on the 6th of May, and maybe afterwards, also around the half of the day of today, the 7th of May, you can see a very big dip. But nonetheless, this is undisputed green powerful movements. So what this kind of tells me is that May could possibly be even more optimistic than I was originally expecting, because there's still a potential of seeing even more powerful uptrends around these days. I've been telling you guys for many days that once, basically tomorrow, around the 8th of May and until the 11th, possibly the 12th, we're going to see possibly another very big jump. Okay, so because Bitcoin is currently at 98K, it's almost guaranteed to see climb back to 100K around these dates, and possibly even higher than that. Possibly, I don't know, maybe like, let's see, almost maybe 104K, something like this. So it could be very powerful, very, very good. So obviously by then all cryptocurrencies, no matter what, will always jump. I have someone telling me about IOTA, and I don't really care about IOTA, but it's obviously going to pump if Bitcoin and everyone else is pumping. So there's really not much surprise there. So yeah, be very prepared for these next days. They are going to be very good. They're going to be bringing even more powerful movements. And those kind of days are always the most productive, because they will bring many decent profits doing just perpetuals. So let's go to the Ethereum chart. Okay, so the Ethereum chart is almost the same as Bitcoin. We saw some differences. For example, right here on the chart, we did see a warning for a very volatile pump either on the 5th or the 6th of May. So this chart right here on the Ethereum cryptocurrency, it's more on point, it's more accurate than the Bitcoin chart, because you see there was no green for the 6 or the 7. So right here today, it's not as good as Bitcoin. So technically Ethereum is underperforming compared to Bitcoin, but it's still a good pump, a very volatile jump right here. It's around 4%. But yeah, from the starting point, it's actually not so good. You can see that if we try to measure this, it's around somewhere around here. So it's only barely 2%. So this is kind of in range. It's still a very solid uptrend considering the volatility right here. But yeah, not so good as Bitcoin. It's kind of more in range. And that was basically what I was expecting. In fact, this is the most optimistic outcome of the yellow circle right here, because we see the 6, 7, and possibly the 8, all of them on the yellow circle. So yellow always means either volatility or range, maybe sometimes both. Some kind of combination between those two. So that's what we saw today. And just like I told you, in my first video, I told you that right here is going to start the same range of days that Bitcoin has. Basically the best outlook, very positive outlook for these next days. Now for Ethereum, it's not showing that. It's actually showing that around the 9 to the 13, which is a very big range of days. So we're going to see possibly 2 days in this range of days, going to be very powerful corrections. Now, just like I told you in my first video, this means that maybe if Bitcoin carries the day, then we can see that Ethereum will basically perform worse than Bitcoin, okay? Altcoins might perform worse than Bitcoin. So any big movements that we can see maybe on Bitcoin won't be replicated with as much quality on other altcoins, including Ethereum. So be very prepared if you're also trading these altcoins, because there might be some key divergences right here on these days. Okay, maybe not every cryptocurrency will behave the same. That's basically what I have for Ethereum. Now let's take a look at Avalanche, which is the other altcoin that I'm covering. And basically you can see the exact same outlook that I told you for Ethereum. This means that it will not be as good compared to Bitcoin. We'll have to see if who performs better, whether Avalanche or Ethereum, because so far in these days, even though Ethereum is having a really tough time recovering, it's actually performing better than Avalanche. So yeah, it was kind of surprising. Yeah, nonetheless, let's check out. So for today, which is the 7th of May, again, you can see that it's actually even more in range. This is actually completely in range. It's still slightly upwards, but yeah, this is more completely in range than even Ethereum. So you can see that even today, Avalanche is the worst performing cryptocurrency again, at least from the three that I'm covering. So it's going to be possibly going to remain the same until we see a major divergence. And I believe that maybe can only happen around the 8, around the 10 or the 11. But again, just like I told you, look at this. There are red circles surrounding these days. This is not the case on the Bitcoin chart. So again, what this tells me is that Avalanche will underperform compared to Bitcoin. Okay, it's not going to do as good as Bitcoin. So that means maybe we will see very productive days. Maybe we will see more boring days, more in range, whereas Bitcoin will actually be the volatility driver in this case. So yeah, guys, that's all I have for you. Again, I've been telling you about these days for weeks already. So by the time you see me again on another video, it's going to be basically around these days, maybe after these days. Okay, you will see me again on Sunday. So having said that, take care, like, share, and subscribe, comments, all of that, guys. I always read what you either email me or what you comment to me. Okay, it's always very good to see the community engage. So I wish you all good luck, good profits, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.